When the dwarves crept up to investigate, the trolls popped them all into sacks. Suddenly, the trolls started arguing. Gandalf imitated their voices and tricked them into a nasty fight. They fought until dawn. When the sun rose, the trolls turned to stone.
The trolls must have a cave nearby to hide from the sun. We must look into it. Find the troll cave, Bilbo.
And we are back. So it's actually been a while since I have played this game. Quite a few months, but I figured I'd get back into playing more video games and wanted to continue going through my journey of playing Sierra's The Hobbit. Where we left off last time, we just went and tried to steal the wallet from the trolls. The dwarves and Bilbo got captured, and of course Gandalf came and saved them. Now we are going to be looking for their cave. Let's see, expert stick tactics.
I see you found a training scroll. This land is full of lore from the old kingdom of Arnor. They used these scrolls to teach combat tactics to their young warriors. Now the scrolls are scattered all over this desolate land. You will learn new fighting skills when you open them.
Alright. And this is actually a pretty short part in the book. Essentially they go and they find the hoard that the trolls left, and it's obviously being expanded for the purposes of having more gameplay. So, as is actually the problem with many Lord of the Rings games, there aren't very many enemy types. Tolkien really only had a couple of things that he really made kind of standard bad guys, wolves being one of them, so we're going to see a lot of them throughout this game. Now, it's been a while since I've played, so having to kind of relearn the controls. How do I climb up? There we go. My health.
That was quite a climb. I have to catch my breath.
Any sign of the troll cave?
No. Or the key.
Key?
Long ago, the Witch King's people built strongholds in this land. Wicked creatures like trolls get the keys and use the locked vaults to hide from the sun.
It's worth noting, this is still the same area that was in the last video, which is the Troll Shaws. Generally speaking, a rather uninhabited part of Middle-earth, leading towards Rivendell eventually. Oh, look, traps. Indiana Jones style. I'll have to remember that. Took a lot of damage just then. Interesting that they felt like they needed to reiterate something we've already done. Oh dear. So we've already grabbed ropes before. Oh dear. And I've died. Oh, getting used to the controls after having spent so long not playing this game can be rather difficult. Okay, so picking back from where we left off, I'm going to try a slightly new tactic here. See if I can't injure these things with stones, and thereby take care, at least some extent, of the enemies that are killing me. Alright, so that rope breaks. That is the problem there. Not very good at throwing stones. There we go. So apparently I need to climb this very, very quickly is the answer. Boy. As we go through this game, it's going to become a lot more of me trying to figure things out, I'm sure. Jump over to the mushroom. Okay. Obviously there were spikes at the top of that rope. But what I do think is very interesting about this game is that they do a pretty good job of giving you more unique environments than you probably really deserve based on the content of the book. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It is certainly worth noting that this is definitely being expanded for the purposes of gameplay. But I think they do a good job in this game. It really ends up being a lot of fun. Good platforming, which is precisely what you would want. Boy, I'm really bad at throwing stones. And so overall, it's challenging, it's entertaining, and it's what you want in a video game, but then you're also getting the added benefit of it being based on The Hobbit, and not being based on the terrible movie versions of The Hobbit. These guys aren't moving. Oh, there they go. Alright. So let's see here. Definitely use that health. And so I don't really know how much I'm going to have to say. As I said it before, I've tried to add a little bit of conversation about the lore of the games. It can be pretty hard when you're talking about a part of Middle-earth that really is not very much explored. Hello, person.
It's an elf. Oh, and she's hurt.
Help me. I was injured by 3 trolls. I barely managed to escape into these caves. My healing draft is in the next chamber, but I'm too weak to get it. Can you bring it to me?
So here we go. Instead of having a terrible female lead for the Hobbit movie, we're not going to have it for the game. No, this is Liana the Elf. I doubt it's very much just more than a side quest. Alright. So I have to enrage the beast and then attack him. Alright. Got my health. Got plant things. I have no idea what this is, but it looks like a giant aardvark. Thankfully, it's pretty slow. So a really basic boss battle here. One of the problems with this game is that the camera controls can be very janky sometimes. So it's very hard to keep focus on the action. I don't know if there's a way to lock on to anything.
If Aurora Took could see me now.
There we go. I have beat the boss. Not too bad. Now, I can guarantee you that Tolkien never wrote about a giant armadillo, but there you have it. A boss Worthy of at least a video game. Still better than the giant worms that come out of the ground in the Hobbit movies. That's a very slimy wall. I have no idea where this draught I'm supposed to find is, but we will go find it. What is over here? Okay, that's a platform puzzle. Don't know if I can do it yet. Let's see if I can do here. Looks like I need a torch, so that's my next goal. Really is amazing the more I play this how much it really ends up being very reminiscent of The Legend of Zelda. The Ocarina of Time, the N64 version specifically. It's just got a lot of good platforming. It's not quite as much a puzzle solver, but the combat feels very reminiscent. I need a way to lock on targets, and I seem like I may have forgotten that. I'm going to go see if I can remind myself what that is. Let's see. Well, I couldn't remind myself, so I'm just going to have to go with it.
Healing draft.
There we go.
Oh, I hope I'm not too late to save her.
So we are coming here to heal Liana the elf.
Oh, thank you, friend. I am Liana of the Wood Elves.
Bilbo Baggins of the Shire, at your service. I'm searching for the Troll Cave. Do you know how I can find it?
You will need this if you want to find the Troll Cave. But beware, these caverns are filled with the Witch King's traps.
Now, it seems a little strange. It seems a little strange that they would choose to make the Witch King somehow involved in this area. I mean, the Trollshaws are not really his domain, nor is it really a place I think that he would have really any interest in controlling. Looks like it's not a torch, by the way. It's a crystal that I need to put in this little stand. But yeah, ultimately I don't really know what value there is in having that as a thing, other than try to mix in the lore a bit and try to make it feel a bit more rich. Let's see if this works, though. That would be it. There we go. You've gotten across. It's like a armadillo fox. The tail is very much like a fox tail. Very, very strange creature design. A little bit of exploring. This game is very centered around exploration to some extent. You know, an armadillo and a fox kind of reminds me of the Avatar: The Last Airbender, how they combine two animals that really don't make sense together, and it's kind of charming in its own way. But at least it gives me something else to fight. As I said earlier, you know, if you're stuck with just orcs and wolves all the time, it can become pretty boring. You can actually see that in a lot of Lord of the Rings video games. They begin to take some liberties with the enemy designs simply because it's so shallow for the most part. Sure, let's go down. Go. That was that slime wall, so I'm back at the beginning now. So yeah, this is kind of a choose your own path, and it'll be very many times, I'm sure, that I'll loop back on myself. Come over here and get a little bit more health before I continue on. And it's not too bad because, after all, it's fairly decent environments, and I like the sense of exploration. If there's ever one thing that a Lord of the Rings video game needs to have, it's halfway decent exploration, because without it, these games can be extremely shallow. I think about the hack and slash action games that they did for... Oh, I just missed that platform. That they did for the movies. And they were so focused on combat, which is actually, they were very fun games, but there was very, very little exploration, really. And it was because they were so heavily tied to... And I just killed myself. It's because they were so heavily tied to the concepts of the movies, and they didn't really have a lot of freedom in the license. Alright, so let's try that again. Like I was saying, the licenses for movie-based games for Lord of the Rings took a while to actually get the idea of exploration down, simply because they had limited scope in what they could show. It wasn't until we saw games like War in the North and Shadow of Angmar that we began to see a little bit better view into the rest of Middle-earth with kind of the design approach of the movies. And Lord of the Rings Online, probably one of my favorite games, got exploration down really well. Maybe I'll do a video on that eventually.
Sunlight again.
Well, that's really pretty. It's amazing how it works. You put someone in a cave long enough, and then when you show them a nice, pretty outside area, no matter how dated the graphics are, it can be very nice, very pleasant. Alright, I think I can jump up there. So let's go.
Oh, drat these dark caves.
Echoing my sentiments. Interesting how that works. Okay, let's see. I'm not going to get Indiana Jones to this time.
The key!
Alright. More enemies. Get silent during combat because I'm so focused. This is going to be a platforming nightmare, I think. I used to be very, very good at platforming games. I feel like I'm not so good at them anymore. Maybe this game will make me better at it. Nope. Nope, not at all. Fun. You're gonna get to watch me attempt this many times. Part of this has to do with just kind of the janky controls again, that very dated. So let's see where I'm trying to go here. Not too worried about crystals. There's a money pouch down there. I think I'm just gonna jet through as much of this as possible. And save on the other side. So yeah, let's see here. Let's go up this way. One thing I definitely wish I had better control of is the vertical move of the camera, which they don't give you control of. Got another Witch King crystal. Spider webs are never a good thing. I think I have to do something to get past that. So let's see. Yeah, I wish I had the ability to look around more. I know that their lack of control of the camera is important because of how they do some later levels, if I recall correctly. So if I mess this up, I'm going to slide down it, just like that. And I think it's done mostly for cinematic purposes. They want to have you focused on some specific things later on. But it's really annoying in areas like this where I have a very limited view on what I can look at. But it's alright. I will persevere. There we go. More enemies. These are like little frogs. Michigan J frogs here. It's well, alright. See, I honestly don't remember. It's been so long since I played this game. It's been, I mean, since the last time I actually played all the way through it, it's been, you know, over a decade easily. I honestly don't remember the Michigan J frogs, but there you have it. There is the Witch King crystal I need to put in place. I'm going to open up these chests. I'm going to explore over here real quick before I go any further. So I really don't remember all these very bizarre enemies, but at least it's variety. Okay. Let's see how bad I fail this. Alright. And that's failure number 1. So likely I'm going to fail at this so many times that I will be editing most of my failures out for the sake of my viewers who would much rather see me succeed. I can pretty much guarantee you that's going to happen, just because of how bad I am at this. Alright, wait for these platforms. All about timing. And there we go. Spikes. You see this rope is coming down. That means I can now backtrack a bit. Not have to worry too much. I think I need to go down here. Because it's going to give me access to the key over here. So let's see. Yep, there is the key. Seems like it's going to be pretty straightforward here. Let's see how it works. Okay, so it's right there. Well, that was a failure. I'm going to go right here and save. Is there a way back up? A good way? Oh, I think I have to just go down. And let's try this again. There we go.
Key.
There's the key. So now I just go back the way I came. There we go, there's another camera lock. Really weird how that happens. Please stop. There we go. Wow. So I don't remember that ever happening, but that's really annoying. Get this camera back into line. Okay, let's see if we can't do this in a slightly better way. Hit them with stones. Pow. 1, 2. here we go. We have now locked area. So let's go in here.
What a beautiful blade with elvish runes. Barely a pocket knife for a troll, but perfect for a hobbit. But you'll need a name. I know. I will give you a name, and I shall call you Sting.
So there you go. That was the Troll Caves. It's kind of weird they had him name Sting right then and there because, of course, Sting is named much later in the story when he first actually uses it. They actually did that pretty well in the movies, if I recall. But there you have it. That was the Troll Caves, level 3 of Sierra's The Hobbit. So until next time, have a wonderful day.